Well, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, bringing you another super awesome Minecraft episode. And in today's episode, we return to our Scarland Roller Coaster Preparation by finishing our survival base for the project, and that is our Enchanting tent. So we'll build a tent with an enchanter and pop-up bookcases and all sorts of other great stuff. So let's get this episode underway. Alright, and welcome back to Scarland, and it's always great to have you here for another super awesome project. And let's walk down here and reveal some of the work we've done on the roller coaster project. So we've gotten the layout of the station built, I think. This is pretty much the layout we're going to go with, I think, and it's going to be super cool. So that, of course, is the start of the ride. So that's where you you get on your mine car and you head off onto regions beyond in Scarland on an adventure. And then once your adventure is completed, you'll come back over there and the exit there. So this is the entrance. So you'll you'll walk into here and you'll take a turn. You'll join some switchback lines across here. There's going to be a chicken exit right there. There's going to be some garbage cans, drinking fountains. So there'll be lots of switchbacks, back and forth, back and forth. You'll get up to here. You'll place a ticket in a dispenser and it'll bring a mine car here, open the gates, you get on the ride, and off you go onto adventure. So this is pretty much the layout of at least the station portion of the ride, and it's going to be massive, just absolutely amazing. But yeah, so we have some other things to finish up today, and in our last Twitch live stream, we built this cascading kind of eroding bank that makes up our staircase going up to our survival base. And then also in that Twitch stream, we also built ourselves a little horse stable. So lots and lots of work being taken place in Scarland. It's we've got everybody rolling. The creeper inspectors, Tom Zombie, the construction workers are all here ready to go. So it's a lot of work going on here. So let me grab up a few supplies here. And where did Thunder Mountain go? Oh, there you are. So I got to show you guys this before we start today's project. Why can't we grab things out of item frames like this? Look at that. Awesome. Back, forth, back, forth. But then if I want to grab my woodpecker, watch this. He's just going to go flying away and I can't grab it. It's crazy. They got to fix that. Let's do the cat box scoop today. Grab that, and I'm not even going to try to grab a sword. That's just going to be a disaster. And then I'm just going to grab out a little extra dirt. All right, so let's get into it. So we're going to build an enchanting tent, and it is going to be right up here. So we're going to build that right up here. It's going to be like a fortune teller's tent. It's going to kind of have a little mysterious aspect to it. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And it was awesome to see all of you guys tweeting me pictures of the survival tent we built over there on Twitter the other day. That was super cool to see all you guys enjoying the build, enjoying it, building it, having it in your own worlds. That was super cool. It's just amazing to see you guys build things that I built and then even putting your own interpretation on it. It was so cool. So if you guys want to follow along on this build and do the same, I'd love it if you sent me pictures of you building it too. Okay, so this is from this block here all the way over to this one is 9, and then the same across there. So it's 9 by 9, and then in the center of the box here, we're going to place the log right there. So from that block, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 log, and then you have another 4 space, and then just continue that around. All right. So once you're on your log there, then we're going to go. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then we'll come on over here, and then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So then we have that for both sides. All right, there we go. So now we have all poles are all lined up and are ready to go. So my question for you guys is, so we did this in dark oak. Is there any other wood? So as we go along, we start introducing the canvas colors and stuff like that. Let me know which wood you guys like, acacia, oak, or, keep the dark wood. Spruce is so close to these, so we'll probably just disregard that. But, let me know which color of the bark that you guys like best. Dark oak, or acacia as we kind of go along here. All right, so from the ground down here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then dirt block, and then we're going to place another one there. So I'm using the dark oak for now, but I keep going back and forth. Do I like the acacia or do I like the oak? The oak will go with the bookcases. I don't know. I'm super conflicted on which one I like best, but as you can see, this one actually attaches to the 4th block right there, and then let me just kind of come out to here. There we go, and then we'll just continue this up like so. So I'm making these videos a little bit early because this is my last week of just ridiculous doctor's appointments. It's this month and then the start of October have just been one after another. It's been just it's been very difficult to try to get, YouTube videos made in this time. And so hopefully after these appointments this week, which there's quite a few of them, and they all start at like 7 in the morning and go all day. Just, test, and then appointment, test, and then appointment, and it's just like, ah. But after this, I should be good. I should be good for the rest of the year. Just some standard ones going from here. And so hopefully I'll be able to start, spending a lot more time, getting the videos ready for the roller coaster project and stuff like that. And then we can start working on that. I'm super excited for that. And then of course, the s'more house. So, but I also like these kind of one-off videos. They're just a single video where you guys can kind of follow along and easily follow along. It's not like a long project where it takes, months and months. So these are kind of fun, but this is of course our last one until we start the station, and we start the roller coaster station, and hopefully within the coming week we can get the s'more house up and running also. If I don't fall and break my leg here, my scaffolding parkour skills are lacking today. They are lacking, and if I fall again, I will go crazy. All right, let me see here. We got this last piece to go right here. Just a simple, we only had one log to place, and I spent all that time like parkouring up there to get to there. Haha. All right, there we go. We'll clean that up. So yeah, these appointments are almost over, and I finally kind of get some rest. It's just, it's tough. Like my health is like a full-time, like job, like just like constantly managing and taking care of it. It can get exhausting, but hopefully we can kind of get this kind of squared away for a little while, and get back to working hard on the videos and getting that done. So okay, so now we're going to scaffold up here, and then let's see. I think I'm missing a few things, so I'm just going to place some temporary blocks up here. What I need actually is some half slabs, but I forgot to get them. You know what I need in Scarland? I need an assistant. Yes, I need an assistant. I need somebody to go and grab me stuff. They can like stand down there. You know what I need? I need a villager. I need to cure a villager, and then the villager will be my best friend. Like he's my total best friend. So my best friend villager will do anything I want, because of course I saved him. I cured him from the zombie disease, and he'll be forever grateful, and he'll be my assistant. All right, so what we're doing now is we're building these bands that will just act as a decoration to the canvas tent. So as you can see, we put a dirt block there, and then we went light stained clay, and then standard blue stained clay. And then we're just going to continue that process down. So we'll do another one there, do another one there, and then we'll clear that out, jump down once again, and we will place. Let's see, we'll get one more right there. There we go. Look at that. Looking super snazzy. And then we'll just continue this design like you see here all the way around. So we'll do that design here. We'll do that design there. And of course, you guessed it, right there. So give me 1 second and I'll do those and I'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. So we've completed this, the wraparound of this. So now we're going to move on to our next phase, and we're going to grab out some magenta and some purple. And I think we could probably get rid of these two things. And let me grab my dirt back. Okay. Oh, wait, I need to grab this too. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to scaffold out just a little bit more. And then we're going to start. I still need those half slabs, so I need to get those eventually. But we're going to start over here. There we go. And then we're just going to start just adding some small decoration details on these sides. I'm going to add an additional block once I jump down below there too. So these tests that start this week, these ones are incredibly intense. So they're, like I said, they start at like 7 in the morning and they just go all day. And they're eye tests, but they do these tests where you put your head in something. So visualize Luke Skywalker in New Hope, and he's lining up the Death Star rocket to shoot into the little maintenance hole or whatever that was. And that's kind of the little guide. You kind of put your head into it and you kind of look through it. And it takes an image, which gets kind of interesting. This image is like the Hubble, so it uses kind of the same technology as the Hubble, how it sees through infrared light like that, and it detects the light receptors in your eyes. And let me see, let me make sure I'm lining this up correct. Awesome, good. All right, now we can jump down. So it lines up those receptors, and it takes like a long photograph, and it tries to see if there's any damage within those light receptors. Let me just bring this down to, let's do one more, and we'll go like that. Yes, there we go. So bring that down 1, 2, 3, 4, and do the same on this side. So from that block, bring it down 1, 2, 3, 4. Center block 3. So it tests that, and it looks for any damage or decay or something along those lines within that. But it's incredibly interesting because it's like brand new technology, and the doctor who's trying to invent it at the hospital that I go to, he was talking about how it's really loud. It has to stay cool, the computer system inside. So they need to make it liquid cooled so it can be a little bit quieter. It was interesting because, thinking of like computers and, gaming rigs and stuff like that, how we're always like trying to make these computers, quiet and stuff. And he's talking about, adding like a water cooler to the system, the camera, to make it quieter and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty interesting when they were talking about that. Because at the time I was, planning on making a computer at the time. So I knew all about water coolers and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of funny. All right. But once the image is stitched together and it looks like a universe. Like you see all the little light receptors and they all look like, let me count this, 1, 2, 3, 4. They all look like, a universe, like something that Hubble would have taken. It's really beautiful. Like, and then you can kind of see if there's any problem areas throughout. All right, so like we've done here and here, I'm going to complete it on these two sides, and I'll be right back. All right, so I completed those sides, and I love how this tent kind of makes up this little entrance here with the two trees. I think that looks really cool. And you kind of pawn this tent in the middle of the forest with the fortune teller's design. I think it's kind of cool. It may look like a berry when we're finished. It may look like a boysenberry, but that's okay. That's okay because I like it. I think it'll be pretty cool. I think you guys will like it too, I hope. All right, so let's just give ourselves just a little room to work with here. Okay, so let's decide how we're going to do this. Let's see. We're going to go like this. So I'm just kind of visualizing the top. When I did this tent kind of as kind of just a fun little project before I realized like, hey, we could do this as a video. This is actually kind of cool. I didn't build the tent or the top of the tent. So I'm just going to kind of work with it here. So from this little blue block here, we put a dirt block and then placed a magenta block on top of that, or purple actually. So purple, and then we did that all the way around. And now we're just going to surround these blocks like so. So then the other tests that kind of they do are like a visual field where they shine lights in the different areas of your periphery to try to see if, the muscles in the eyes are, not working like they should, and seeing, to the sides correct, and seeing, intensity of light. So that's another test that they do. And there's a couple other ones where they photograph deep photograph look into the back of your eye, look at your retina nerves and all that kind of stuff. So lots of stuff. So hopefully that all turns out good, and we can start making videos. So my eyes aren't really, they're not so much that I don't have good vision. It's just the muscles that are in the eyes are incredibly weak, and that makes it really, really difficult to kind of look to the sides and kind of track with my eyes. So that's kind of the problems they're looking for. All right, well, look at that. That thing is looking super cool. All right, so now we are going to our next phase where we will be working on the mechanisms that make the bookcases move. So that's always fun. So let me get some supplies and I'll be right back. All right, and welcome back, and look at how big that thing's going to be out there. That's going to be super cool. And then, add all the different, drops and different aspects of the structure of the track. And that thing's going to be pretty super big out there. That's going to be awesome. Hello there, Tippy. How are you? All right, so let's get started with my favorite part, and that's the redstone. Sarcasm. Okay, so let's get started here. So we're going to go a boom, and then I'm going to need a little bit of oak wood. So let me just get a little bit of oak wood here, and I'm just going to keep that there. Grab just a quick bit extra here. I forgot to grab my pressure plates. There we go. Okay, so then I'm just going to, let's see. I'm going to dig out these sections right here for now. There we go. Actually, I'm not sure how I want to do this yet. Let me back off for 1 second and jump down here real quick. Let's see. Okay, I understand. Okay, let's do it this way. This will be easy to line up. So we'll jump onto our bookcase here, And then we're gonna go 1, 2, like so. And then we're gonna go over here, and then we're gonna go 1, 2. Yes, this will make it a lot more easy to understand. A lot better, a lot easier. All right, and then we're gonna go up there like so. Awesome. Okay, and then we need to make 2 bookcases, one here and one there. So how we're gonna do that is we're going to go like this. So let's see. This needs to be, this needs to be right here. Okay. So we're going to go like that. So we're going to place one on that angle, and we're going to place another one at that angle. Okay, and then we're going to go bookcases on either one. So that should work. Yes, that'll work. And then we'll do a standard block there, and then we can do one right there, and one right there, and then we can kind of put our pressure plates here and here. Good, good. Slowly getting it. We're slowly getting it. We're slowly getting this. I just don't want to goof up. You know, I prefer not to goof up because, you know, redstone and you know how that is. Okay. Okay, and then we're just going to do another one. You know, just I give up the simplest redstone procedure, so I want to try to at least make it so it works the first time here. Okay, and then we're going to go down here, and then we're going to go by. Oh dear, that's not correct. That's not going to work. Now it'll work. So then we'll go like that, place another block right there. And our final touch is here, where we're going to jump down here and there, and we're going to jump up here. So this will be super cool once we get it done. And then let me make one additional pressure plate here. We probably need another one, but that's good. Okay, awesome. And then we're going to get out our redstone, and then we're going to kind of make this loop around. So we're just going to kind of loop it around here. There we go. Get that all settled. Let's see, knock that down. There we go. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. And we'll just hope that Bob the Building Creeper Inspector isn't above us destroying what we've just built, because that would be completely devastating. Like, that would be the worst. I can just picture him right now. He's standing right above us, doing his thing. Now we're putting repeaters in between. And I'll give you guys a better overview once we kind of wrap up getting this all settled. Okay, so as you can see how our pattern kind of is laid out like so. We have our repeaters all lined up like that. Looking super awesome. Okay, and now we're just going to, let's see. We're going to place a single block here, and there. And then I'm going to grab out some dirt, because that's how we roll. And okay, I'm just trying to decide. Okay, yes, this will work. And then we'll get in the middle here. There we go. And yes, there we go. It caught. That's what we want. That's what we want. And I'm going to need to knock you out for 1 second. And then I'm going to dig up here, like so. And then, do I have glowstone? Yes, I thought of everything. I even thought of the glowstone. There we go. Give me some props for that. Oh, I forgot bookcases here. Whoops. There we go. Oh, it's working. It's nice when things work. It's nice when things work. And then we'll be able to put our tools in there. We don't have anything to actually make it work, but look at that. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, we'll give you a couple of seconds here. Let me kind of catch my breath and make sure everything is working, and I'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. So let's head up here and look at how that's so cool, like kind of just lurking in the background with mysterious and all. So I think in our live stream today, we will build, you know, like a little trail leading up to here and do some more landscaping, but we're just gonna do a little bit of that right now, kind of replace some of these bushes here with a little bit of spruce leaves. I think that'll kind of add just a little extra mysteriousness to it. And then of course, we can mix in the other bushes too. So just kind of have a couple different kind of varieties of, plants kind of growing in here. Once I think about it, I think the spruce, it's just not the right kind of leaf for what we're doing. You see how it's a little bit, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's a little too bluish green there. I think this kind of yellowish green of the oak leaves looks a little bit better. I think this is probably acacia wood, actually. Acacia leaves, but anyway, they're the same thing. Okay, and then we can grow that down there. Ooh, yeah, that's looking so good, so awesome. And then, you can just kind of add lots of little details in there. And then, add some, some ferns here or there, just a few ferns. Knock that out, grab that, and then, you can grow your ferns up to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. That's turning out great. Okay, so that's good for that for right now. Let's go inside. Now I wanted to make one alteration. We're going to need some storage. So I'm going to put some storage boxes here, and I'm going to put one right here. I'm going to put one over here, just so we have a little bit of extra storage in this section. So it keeps it, when you walk in here, as you can see, you stand here, you've got the boxes there, and then what I was thinking was we could put a crafting bench right there, and then have a crafting bench there. Now as you can see, there's a lot of dirt up here, so we'll just kind of clear that out. Get all that dirt out of here. Get all that out of there. Okay, so now we can do our final cleanup, and let's see how we want to actually accomplish this. So we can do something like this. Let's get going here. Get something like that going, and then I was thinking, what if we took some extra blue and then put that right there, and then maybe even do a light blue at the top. And if we do a little bit of light blue at the top of the canvas, I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, and then for the support structure of the tent, we can build some cool little supports, kind of going up here. Just acts as, something holding up the structure of the tent. There we go, and then add that there. And then if you want, you can add additional ones, here and there, just to give it more of that kind of tenty feel, if you will. There we go. Just like, there's something holding up the structure of the tent up there. And then if you don't like that, you can back off a few pieces here or there. If it's too busy, take off some of the ones that you don't want. And yeah, well, there we go. That is super cool. And then when we want to leave, we just let it go. Oh, I love it. I love this. Oh, I think this came out wonderful. So, you come over here, you might get out your different materials for enchanting. You might have, sticks in one, diamonds in the other, and then lapis in maybe one of them. So then you can walk over here, get into your enchanter, get going, get your things going. And then when you're done, put your things back in the box, walk off, and you're off. And if if you came up from this end, you can do the same thing. It just doesn't matter which other end you enter the tent in. I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a cool design. And well, guys, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And sorry about this, episodes are kind of here and there lately, but hopefully things are going to start kind of calming down in my world, and we'll be able to put 100% focus on getting this major project underway. And yeah, well, guys, I once again just really appreciate you guys and all the support you give me. And yeah, so until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Theme to it, which is kind of exciting that it'll have, a little bit of a story. Not only will it be fun and kind of have its thrills, but it'll have some theme to it. So we've gone 3 up. So as you can see, this is how we've done it. Now we're going to go 2 blocks up like so. See how we did that? And then we'll just continue that along. But I've got pretty much